Hello everybody, this is me Nandita Anand and today I am going to teach you Dover Beach, which is written by Matthew Arnold. So Dover Beach, written by Matthew Arnold, is a dramatic monologue that also has a sonnet form. The poem was written when Arnold was on honeymoon with his newly wedded bride. The poem begins with the calm, pleasant and soothing description of Dover Beach. Okay, so basically Dover Beach is a city in England that is famous for white cliffs. The beach lies between England and France. The poet is on the England side and is watching the coast of France. The time is that of night. So that was the setting of poem. Now we will begin with first stanza. So the poem begins with the romantic tradition style, that is using simple language. The poet says the sea is calm tonight. The line is complete in itself and simply means that everything is fine and calm. In next line, he vividly describes the vista around him. According to the poet, as usual, the tide is full and the moon lightning the stairs, that is the source. On the other side, that is the France coast, the light glimmers and then vanishes like the twinkling of stars. When the light vanishes, the poet sees the white cliffs which are shining in the moonlight on the shore of England. Probably the light on the French side vanishes because white cliffs block the rays of moonlight. So now the poet interacts with his wife. He requests her wife to come to the window side and enjoy the pleasant air of the night. He then asks her to focus on the edge where the sea meets the land. The land is moon blanched, that is looking white and shiny due to the moonlight. Now in the next line, the mood suddenly changes. There is a shift from there is shift from happiness to sorrow. The poet says, listen to the unpleasant and harsh sound of pebbles that are pulled out by the strong tides and turned back on the shore when the tide returns. The process is continuous and the poet focuses on their rhythmic movement. The movement of pebble is tremendously very slow. Okay, the sound is very unpleasant. Okay, it's bring out the notes or music that is sad and never ending. Now the second stanza begins with the reference to Sophocles. It was the tradition of Victorians to refer to the poets and writers in their work. The poet says that Sophocles and had already heard this eternal note of sadness while sitting on the shore of Aegean. The turbid ebb and flow means the movement of water in and out. It also referred to the loss of faith. Sophocles compared eternal movement with the miseries of humans, which like them are also never ending. This is how he succeeded in composing painful tragedies. According to the poet, he can hear the same sound of sea, sand and retreating tide by sitting like Sophocles on the shore of northern sea. Distant means far from Sophocles. The term "we" in a context referred to the poet and his bride, but in a broader sense it referred to every human. In this sense, the poet draws out attention due to the universality and eternity of sadness. Now third stanza, the term sea of faith as usually understood doesn't simply mean religion. According to the poet, the sea of faith once had united the whole of mankind, but now it has declined. He hears its sadness, longings and roars of pulling away of faith as night wind is hovering over the sky. What remain there are the naked stones which have been pulled out of earth by the tides. The poet is mixing the natural happening with the human faith. As we know, the poem was written during the Victorian age. At that time, there was a development of industrialization and led to the capitalism, which further led to the individualism and greed. The sea of faith that once existed among mankind gradually vanished. The faith can refer to trust, humanity, religion, kindness, sympathy, spiritualism, and so on. Thus, the greed gave a death blow to this faith. So, in this sense, the whole scene, which was calm and pleasant, can be considered as the sea of faith. But suddenly the night wind or industrialization or science and technology came that murdered the peace and spirituality. Now in fourth stanza, the poet asks his beloved to be true to him. Note that these lines related to the sea of faith. Okay, the poet believes that the world which are like the land of dream, or how he described it in the beginning, is in reality hollow from inside. There is no joy, love, light, certainty, peace, sympathy in it. Okay? Both the poet and his beloved are on darkling plain, that is a dark and ugly world. They hear the sound of struggle and fights of the people who are fighting without seeing each other. This fight can be regarded as the fight of opposing idealism in the mind of man, or that of forces of materialism, or tribal battles of age and youth, or also selfish and political forces. The poem thus ends with the terrible picture of society during Victorian age. So I hope you like the poem, and we will meet in next class. And one more thing, while listening to this explanation, please refer your book. Okay, thank you, bye bye, take care and study hard.